Hello everyone. So welcome back in the session of virtual team building. In the last session of virtual team building, we were discussing about what are the ways by which you can transform your virtual meeting. We all know our virtual meetings are the new normals. This we all have been hearing from so long that virtual meetings, virtual ways of working are going to be the new normal. So after the pandemic also, if you think that pandemic is settling down and once the pandemic settles down, once everyone gets vaccinated, once it is safe for the people to go out, then what? Still, we will be having these virtual ways of working, then definitely yes. See, people and the organizations have seen that this virtual ways of working have at some point of time have increased the productivity of the people. So what they believe is they'll be continuing. What they are not going to call back the employees for 5 days a week, 6 days a week. It is going to be hybrid. That's going to be once in a month, 1 week in a month. So something like that, the organizations are going to figure out. But this is for sure that it is not going to be 5 or 6 days a week, which it used to be earlier. So here it is very important to know what are the ways by which you can transform your virtual meeting. You can host your virtual meeting effectively and you can deliver the best results in those virtual meeting. How we are going to do that? Can you tell me any of the ways by which you can make your meetings productive? You can make your work productive, make the team to come together, to work together. That collaboration also doesn't fades away because of the virtual ways of working. So yes, there are many different ways by which you can transform your virtual meeting, because it is very important that when we are meeting, the meetings are delivering something productive. Right. Until and unless there is going to be no productivity in the meeting, like at the end of the meeting, we do not have the results for which the meeting is being scheduled, why it is being scheduled. So it is very important that we focus on the productivity, we focus on the ways by which we are going to make the teams work virtually. So the fifth point here says provide training on how to host virtual meeting properly. You might be thinking that what kind of training is required to host the virtual meeting? Why training is required to host the virtual meetings? But trainings are required to host the meetings properly. We're working on a new software. Many of the people might not be aware about how to use the features. Like if I talk about Zoom, the first day when I started using Zoom, I was not aware about many of the features. Slowly, I explored and came to know that yes, still there are so many features which we are not aware about. So it is very important that whatever platform you are using for your virtual meetings, for your virtual work, you need to train your employees that how they're going to host the meeting. Many times I have come across this situation where a person is hosting the meeting. He or she is supposed to share something, but they do not know how to share that, where to share that. They do not know that thing. Why? Because the training was not provided. That becomes one of the reason. So here it becomes very important that whenever you are asking a person to host the virtual meeting, they host that properly. So here under this, the first point says you have chosen a platform for your team meetings, but you still not guarantee to have a productive call. Yes, we have chosen the platform for the team meeting, but Yes, many times the meetings are not productive. Person is just struggling to share the screen. A person is just struggling to allow the participant to give them the sharing right. A person is just struggling to use the whiteboard. A person is struggling that how they're going to share the content, how they can write simultaneously when they're showing the screen, how they can highlight the points. The persons are struggling with that. And when these struggles are there, when people are unable to do their work productively, unable to deliver the things productively, the call which was made doesn't becomes a productive call. There are no results which the person gets when they end the meeting, because meeting was not conducted properly. The data which was needed to be shared over there was not even shared, because the host of the meeting was unable to share. And above that, he or she was even unable to give other person the hosting right to share the screen, because they were not well aware about the software. The person starts the meeting. People keep waiting on in the waiting room. They don't even know that you have to check the waiting room. You have to accept, you have to admit the person in the meeting, and they keep complaining. People have not joined. No one have joined yet. Only these many people have joined. Whose fault it is? Is it the person's fault who is just waiting in the waiting room, or it is the fault of the admin, the person who started the meeting, but he or she is not aware about the features? So it is not about the mistake a person is doing, it is about the lack of training. Every time when a new thing is introduced, when we start using new things, a proper training is required. You might say that grown up people, you're professionals, how come you require training? But it is required. We are professionals, but that doesn't mean that we are going to be technology friendly also. Let's say a person who's from educational background, you cannot expect that person to have the knowledge about all the features which he or she can use while using these online platform. They might not be aware. So it is not on which profession you are having, but it is the general responsibility of the leader or the manager or the organization to provide them the proper training on how to use the platform which they will be using for their video calls, which they will be using for their meetings. It is very important to keep people aware about all those things. So you have chosen the right platform for your team meeting. Say that I gave you the right platform, the best platform, but still you couldn't deliver the results. Still the meeting was not productive. Why? Is it the fault of the person who is taking the training, or who's leading the meeting, or it is the fault? It is the combined fault that the person was never being trained, or not trained. Okay, if you think that you do not need to give the training, at least inform them about the platform, tell them to go through the platform and clarify amongst themselves how to use that platform. Something should have been done, because it is not the responsibility of an individual to host the meeting. It is the collective responsibility of the team, and above all, the accountability of the leader, the manager, to make sure that the team is well trained about what to do, when to do, and how to use these platforms. Your virtual team needs to know how to schedule meeting and set up video and screen sharing. These things looks to be very small to me right now, because now I am familiar. But as soon as someone will tell me you have to use OBS, you have to use Jitsi now, I'll be like, Now what? How I'm going to do that? I don't know how to share the screen. I don't know how to share the video. I don't know how to schedule the meeting. I don't know how to get the link. I don't know how to live stream that thing. So now when I don't know about all these things and all of sudden just 15 minutes prior to the meeting, a person comes and tells me that you will be hosting the meeting after 15 minutes and this is the agenda. These are the things which you have to do. I won't be able to do. I'll struggle to do that. Maybe I'll find out some ways to manage scheduling the meeting, sharing the link of the meeting. But what about next? How to share the screen? I don't know. How to share the video? I don't know. I've shared the video and the people, the teammates, the subordinates, the colleagues, they're complaining. We cannot hear anything. There is no sound in the video. And I'm like, I shared the video. Where's the sound? I can hear the sound, but I don't understand that I have just shared the video. I just forgot to share the sound of that video. Struggle to do that. And all these small things doesn't make your meeting productive. Though your meeting is stretched for 2 hours, 3 hours, but ultimately the purpose, the agenda of the meeting is not achieved. And the reason is as simple as that you were unable to train your staff on how to schedule and how to host the meeting. So when your team is hosting the meeting, it is very important that your team knows how to start the meeting, how to schedule the meeting, how to share the link of the meeting, how to share the screen, how to give the hosting right to the person, how to allow the person to share their screen, how to set up a video, how to share the video. All these things looks to be very small, but these are the small features which everyone need to know. How to use the whiteboard. We have the feature in many of the platforms. We have the feature of whiteboard. We have the feature of chat. We have the security option that when to allow the participants to join, when to stop them, retain them from joining. When we remove the participant if we have any unnecessary participant who has joined the meeting. Can we remove that unnecessary participant? So there are lots and lots of things, but the only thing is you need to explore, and along with that you need the help of the trainer, you need the help of the team members who can help you to explore the software more. Make sure your remote workforce know how the platform works before scheduling your next meeting. Now if you think that in this meeting everything was hodgepodge, nothing was clear, we couldn't start the meeting on time, the meeting didn't went well. So make sure after this meeting you're training your staff, you're training your team for the next meeting, you're preparing your team for the upcoming meeting, and you are telling them that how the platform which we are going to use is going to work. And make sure knowing the capabilities knowledge of the people, you select the right platform for them. You do not need a platform which have many fancy features. You just need a basic platform where your purpose of meeting, of hosting the meeting, sharing the screen get solved. So always keep this in mind when you are scheduling the meeting, when you are selecting the platform, the right platform for your teammates. Make sure your remote workforce knows how the platform works before scheduling your next meeting. Last point says, let's say you are scheduling a phone meeting. For example, can your team dial into the conference? Are they able to mute and shift presenters effectively? Can they do that? If not, train them. Ask the questions. You training the people on using this platform is similar to training the people on handling a new project. You do train the people, you ask them the question, you tell them if you have any doubt, get back to us. Same way, you are supposed to train them on how to use the new software, new platform which you will be using for all your future meetings. It becomes very easy, very, very easy to use these features to go with the meetings once when you are really very well aware about all the features of this meeting. The sixth point says embrace your project management system. You have got a maze of tasks and deadlines to accomplish. Yes, we all know that we have got a lot of tasks, we have got the deadlines, and we need to accomplish them on time. We all know that. So you have got a maze of tasks and deadlines to accomplish. The rapid shift towards remote work has made project management tool essential. Yes, earlier there was not that urgency that each and every person need to know how to use this project management tools, how to use this virtual meeting tools. But the sudden shift, the rapid shift due to this pandemic, due to the current situation going around, people were being forced to shift to remote work. They were not being allowed to go to the office, keeping their health safety in mind. So, this sudden and the rapid shift towards a remote work has made these project management tools very, very essential for all the companies, all the employees, that they need to set their knowledge, expertise on how to use those management tools. At least the basic features of starting, scheduling, hosting the meeting, muting, unmuting, sharing videos, sharing screen, whiteboards, chat option. These are the common things which at least each and every person in the organization who are working virtually, who are using these virtual platforms for their project should be aware about. Next point says list out which task need to be completed by which team member. List out that thing that okay, this is the task and this need to be completed by this team member. This is the task, this need to be completed by this team member. Have a common management system, project management system, where you are writing all the details. You are writing that okay, this is the project to be done by this is the project to be done by this. So it will give clarity to each and every person in the team that okay, this person is responsible for this. If I'm stuck somewhere, if I need any kind of help, so I'll have to approach this person, I'll have to take the help of this person. So this way it becomes easy for you to understand all these things, and even it becomes easy for the people to work with the team. Next is peek at past projects for milestones and discussion. This is again something where you can do that. You can upload the soft copies of the projects, because as the people are not able to come to the office to have the access over those things, so you can just upload those things. You can make those things available to the people for their future milestone and discussions. Review upcoming deadlines for important projects. So when you are using these kind of project management tools, it becomes easy for you to write down the deadlines, to track the deadlines, that okay, this is the deadline, and at this deadline I have to perform this task, I have to perform this specific task. So it becomes easy for you to review the work, to check whether the team is working as per the direction, how much time will it take, whether the task will be finished as per the time allocated or not. To have a track of all these things, keep reviewing the project, and using the same project management system will help you to review your project more effectively and efficiently. Second last point says document and assign project to participant. There you can easily document the thing. You can easily assign the things to the participant that okay, this is the work which you are supposed to do. And each and every person in your team will also know that what work is assigned to them or what work is assigned to their subordinate, to their colleagues. It will give them the transparency of the work, that okay, this work is transparent, this is the work which is supposed to be done. Last point says be sure to add dates and deadlines so task doesn't fall by the wayside. Whenever you are adding the dates, deadlines, it gives the clarity to the people that okay, by this is my deadline and by this date I have to work, by this date I have to finish. When deadlines are there, person will know that okay, this is the date by which I have been supposed to finish up the work. A task, a project assigned without deadline will never be taken as seriously, that okay, I'll do it later, 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 as I don't have any deadlines assigned to that project. So that is the reason we just focus on working, we just focus on giving the specific dates, deadlines, so that the things, the work is done properly and on time. And the last point, see, last way says log notes for future meetings. Always make sure that you write down notes for during the actual conference. Whenever the actual conference is happening, make it your habit that you are going to write down the notes, because all the information shared during the conference may not stay in your mind, may not last in your mind for a longer duration. You might miss or you might skip some of the important information. So, for that purpose, it is important that you write down the notes whenever the actual conference is going on. You just focus on writing, making your own notes that can be in very short. That is just why we want you to write the notes. It's not for any other person's reference, it is for your own reference, that in case if you want to go through that what happened in the meeting, what were the things which were discussed in the meeting, so you are aware about okay, these are the discussions, these are the things which happened in the meeting, and you easily write down the things and you easily track the things to remember what needs doing and when, what is to be done, when it is to be done. For all those things, it is advisable that you prefer on making the notes for each and everything, whichever is to be done. Encourage different members of your team to log the notes of your meeting. Encourage them. Encourage the people of your meeting that, okay, you are going to log the notes of your meeting, you are going to prepare the notes of your meeting, and it is going to be for your own future reference. Or you can assign different people, like for this meeting this specific person is going to make the notes, and he or she will circulate the notes to the entire team. This way also you can divide the work. Share the recap with attendees afterwards. So once the meeting is over, do not forget to share the recap, to share the things with the attendees that okay, these are the discussions which were done, these are the things which happened, and now these are the things which further need to be addressed. It's just a quick briefing about whatever was discussed in the meeting. Save these notes in your shared file storage. So again, this is very important that you need to save these notes, because why you have made these notes are made for your future reference. So for future reference, it is important that you keep your notes, to share your notes at specific place. So share these notes in your shared file storage. Assign a person to each task, and you have got an easy way to act on the items you discuss. So yes, when you're assigning a person to each task, you have got the one of the best and the easy way that okay, you're going to act on this item which you have discussed. With this, we have discussed all the different features, all the different ways by which you can transform your virtual meeting. If you have any doubts over here, you can just ask. No doubts? Okay, if there are no doubts, we are going ahead with the next topic, that is the advantages of virtual trade. Now, we all know that if we are going to talk to people, few will say it is good. Virtual ways of working has increased the productivity. It has helped us to stay at home. It has saved the cost. It has given us a chance to stay with the family. Lots and lot of things are there. But along with advantages, definitely it will have disadvantages also. So first, we are going to talk about the pros, the advantages of the virtual team. Now, if I talk about the advantages of the virtual team, the first advantage of virtual team is cost saving. It saves the cost. The organization can do away with huge expenses on real estate, office space, utility bills such as gas, electricity, water, and executive travel. When people are not coming to the organization, or let's say people are coming once or twice a week in the organization, now the organization doesn't need large space with the capacity of 500, 600, or 1,000 of people, because those 1,000 people are not going to come to the office altogether. So if we are reducing the office space, don't you think that huge expense which we're doing, which we're paying, the rent of the space, the real estate which we were paying, will get reduced, and ultimately the reduction in the rent is the saving which the organization is doing, isn't it? Isn't the organization saving? Yes. When the rent is half, so that half portion which earlier the organization was spending, now it's all saved. They can spend it on themselves. So the organization can do away these large expenses. Not only that, the utility bills like for gas, electricity, water, all these things will also get reduced to half, because at a time in the organization, maybe 25 or 50% of people are only coming. So those 50%, 25% of the people will be using 25% of the expense only, will be doing 25% of the expense only. They're not going to consume what the 100% gathering, the full staff used to consume, used to use. So obviously there is going to be reduction. And when the real estate property is reduced, when it has been made half. So obviously when space is less, the electricity will also be less, and hence it is going to save on electricity also. Many organizations outsource their operation to the low cost region. Now, again, one more benefit which the organization have got is now they are able to outsource the people from lower cost region. What they're doing, they are outsourcing the people. They're calling the people from the lower cost region means they're hiring the people from one tier, two tier cities. And when they're hiring the people from there, and when they are giving them the opportunity to work from home, so obviously the cost which they are incurring on them, the salary which they'll be offering to them, will change, because we all know that the part of the salary is decided on basis of the city in which we are being called. Let's say a person who is staying in Jaipur, where the cost of living is not very high, there people won't be offering them 50, 60 lakh. But a person who is shifting from Jaipur, Ajmer to Bangalore, Mumbai, Hyderabad, there the cost of living is high. So obviously, the organizations will have to pay them that salary, because then only they will be in a stage to come to that place. Until and unless They're not going to make any kind of saving for themselves. They're not going to save any amount for themselves. They cannot, they're not going to move to a new place. So that is why it has given the opportunity to the people, to the organization, to hire the people from the lower cost region where they can hire the best talent, but they won't have to give them the high salary. The last point says production cost also decreases with the reduced raw material cost, operational cost, and lower wages of the employees in these geographical location. So the production cost which we're talking about, that is also going to reduce with the reduced raw material cost, because everything, everything is being used at a very minimum level. Like raw material is less, operational cost is less, lower wages we are giving employees to the employees in the geographical location. So ultimately all these expenses get reduced. Now, the second point says leverage global talent. When we are hiring people from different multiple locations, so it gives us an opportunity to hire the people from low to tier cities, from any geographical location, so we can hire the best people, the best talented people for our organization, which are going to prove themselves as a good resource for the organization. So it will allow organization to look for talent beyond their country of origin. Yes, it will help them to appoint the people, to take the people, to bring the people beyond their own country. It brings together the expert and specialists from across the globe to work together. So, what it is doing, it is bringing together the experts, the specialists from various parts of the globe, from various parts of the world to come together, to work together, and to deliver the best results in the to the organization. Increased knowledge sharing and greater innovation happen. So what will happen along with this, it is also going to help in increasing the knowledge sharing, because people from different areas will be expert in different fields, not only related to the education but other thing also. They'll be having lot of things to share from their specific area. So it is going to increase the knowledge sharing, and it will give the scope for greater innovation to happen in the organization. Organizations, human capital share their understanding of global and local market as well as the best business practice. So they can share the understanding of their human capital share, their understanding of their own global marketing, their understanding of their own local market. And along with that, they can also share the best business practices which they were making. So ultimately, these things are going to help the people, are going to help the organization to deliver the best results to the people. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session. There are three more advantages of virtual team building, which we are going to discuss in the next session of virtual team building. If you have any doubts still here, please ask. Do you have any doubts still here? No. Okay. So we are done with this session. We'll have the next session in next 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.